Hey everyone, PayPal reported second quarter financial results that are sending the stock higher by almost 10%. I'll review the financial figures from its latest earnings release. I'll answer why the stock price is increasing and point out the specific things that are sending the price higher. I'll also update my recommendation of PayPal stock. Remember, coming into this earnings release, I had PayPal stock rated as one of my top stocks to buy right now. And I'll update that recommendation in this video and let you know if I still think it's a top stock to buy. So there's a lot to cover and I want to get right into it.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
Alright, so PayPal CEO saying that they delivered a strong second quarter and first half of the year so far, and I'm confident we're on the same track. And this is what you want to hear when there is a new CEO coming in, like there is in this case. Alex Chris is only about 2 quarters on the job, and you'd like to hear that the transition is going smoothly. On top of the CEO transition, there is a strategic shift going on internally. And when there's this case happening, you want to hear things going as planned. You don't want to hear that, oh, you know what, we tried this for the first 2 quarters, it's not working, and so we're going to try something different. That would have been really bad news for PayPal stock investors. Instead, we got the opposite. We got the CEO saying that we delivered a strong quarter and I'm confident we're on the same track. In fact, given the strength of our business, we are raising our 2024 guidance and increasing our share repurchases. So a really strong indication that PayPal is on the right track and things are going better than expected for the new CEO. Getting into the numbers more specifically, net revenue increased by 8% to $7.9 billion, while GAAP operating income increased by 17% to $1.3 billion. That increased the operating profit margin by 126 basis points to 16.8%. And this is one of the factors I was looking for from PayPal, as it's focused more on profitable growth, on more profitable customers. I suspect its operating profit margin will continue expanding. What's more, the consumer behavior shift is working in PayPal's favor. In 2023 and in the beginning parts of 2024, consumers were unleashing pent-up demand to get out of the house, spend money away from home on things like theme parks and concerts and sports and other things that are away from home, and that works against PayPal. PayPal doesn't have an advantage in those categories. In fact, it's disadvantaged in those categories. But when people are spending more time and money at home, shopping online and on their mobile devices, that works in PayPal's favor. And lately, consumers are shifting back to a more normalized spending pattern, not so much unleashing pent-up demand away from home, now saying, you know what? It's so expensive to spend money away from home. Every restaurant has raised prices multiple times. Theme parks are getting extremely expensive. Parking is getting extremely expensive. Every time I step out of the house, it feels like I have to spend at least $100 or $200. And so maybe I should spend more time at home. Maybe instead of going out to eat or going out to a movie or going out for entertainment, maybe I just watch Netflix instead. And so that's been working in PayPal's favor, as you can see evidenced by its results. Total payment volume increased by 11% to $416.8 billion. And here are 2 things that I've been looking out for from PayPal that may not be widely talked about, and that is the payment transactions per active account. This measures how engaged PayPal customers are. And on a trailing 12-month basis, this increased by 11% to 60.9 or 61. Now, this is important because PayPal's been focused on more highly engaged customers or more profitable customers. They've shifted away from the strategy of just trying to grow as many accounts as possible to now focusing on more profitable accounts. Those customers that will engage with PayPal more often, not just use it once and forget, right? And so this is something that I look for to see how successful this strategy has been for PayPal. And then the next thing I've been very encouraged with, and I was again encouraged with, is the active accounts increase. Now, in the previous quarter, PayPal added 2 million accounts, and now in this quarter, they are reporting that they added 1.8 million accounts from the previous quarter. That's now 2 straight quarters of roughly 2 million accounts added. And when you couple that with the strategy that they're going after more profitable accounts, that's really good news for PayPal stock investors. Now, year over year, active accounts are still down. They have 429 million active accounts, but that's down 0.4% from the same quarter the prior year, because that's roughly when they started that strategic shift. I would say a few quarters even before that. Before these previous 2 quarters where PayPal's had active account growth, they were on a streak of more than 4 quarters where they were losing active accounts. Millions and millions of active accounts they lost for roughly 4 quarters in a row. So this turnaround is really good news for PayPal stock investors. Additionally, cash flow from operations of 1.5 billion and free cash flow of 1.4 billion demonstrates the lucrative asset-like business model PayPal operates. Remember, it needs to invest in the app, in the technology, to develop the platform and make it attractive for merchants and customers. But other than that, it doesn't have large fixed capital investments to make in the business. And so the profits that it generates, it can return to shareholders, as you saw evidenced in the manager's highlight that they're going to increase their share buyback and return this excess capital to shareholders. So along with the increase in active accounts, the second cause of PayPal stock price rising significantly after the earnings release is the increase in the 2024 annual target. If you watched my earnings preview video for PayPal stock, I predicted that management would indeed increase the annual guidance. I gave you several reasons why I thought management would increase their earnings per share targets. And one of those reasons was because of those factors I highlighted earlier in consumer behavior. It was working more in PayPal's favor. And so I expected those to show up in its results and for management to increase the outlook for the rest of the year. And they did indeed increase their outlook. Previously, they were forecasting earnings per share gap of $3.65 for 2024. They raised that meaningfully to $3.93 at the midpoint. So a roughly 10% increase in the GAAP earnings per share outlook. Now, if you look at the non-GAAP EPS outlook, which is more informative because it excludes certain one-off events that happened last year in 2023, and so you're comparing with the difficult and non-like-for-like comparison. But if you do it with non-GAAP, they increase their target from mid to high single digits up to low to mid teens growth. That means instead of growing earnings per share in the range of 5, 6, 7, or 8%, they're now suggesting that they're going to grow earnings per share at about 11, 12, 13, or 14%. So a significant increase in the percentage increase earnings per share for 2024. And regardless whether you look at it GAAP or non-GAAP, PayPal is forecasting PayPal increased their earnings per share outlook for 2024. And that's the second reason why the stock price is up as much as it is following the earnings release. You can see that big jump here up to $64 per share. Now, I've had PayPal stock rated as one of my top 10 growth stocks to buy and one of my top 25 stocks to buy in 2024. I've had PayPal on this list all year long, and I last updated that recommendation on July 1st. And even after that stock price increase, PayPal is not very expensive. In fact, I still think it's cheap, trading at a forward PE of just 13.96. So I will reiterate this recommendation here today on July 30th and update and let you all know that I still think PayPal is a top stock to buy. Before I let you go, let me tell you about the greatest deal on YouTube. With just a click of a button, you can get free financial analysis from a professor with decades of investing experience. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon.